Welcome to this comparative video series of Wireshark and Omnipeek. In today's topic, we're going to cover follow the TCP stream. We like to start these videos with a little bit of an explanation. Why would anybody want to follow a TCP stream? The TCP stream shows us an actual conversation from one endpoint to the other endpoint, start to finish, as we've captured it. It also allows us to extract and identify the payload within the packet as well. With that type of information, we can also identify things like application response time. First, let's look at Wireshark and how they solve this problem. And there's really two methods within Wireshark in order to achieve the result we're looking for. The first method is where you identify somewhere in the packet the TCP section, you expand it, find the stream index, right-click on it, and apply it as a column. The second method, if you don't care about the index, this method is not necessarily needed. If you want to jump straight to the payload, the second method is to right-click on it and follow the TCP flow. Be warned that this will apply a filter and only show you the specific packets for what you've clicked on. Now let's take a look at Omnipeek. There are a couple of key areas that I want to point out to you so you're aware of. The first part is this area in the upper left-hand corner, where we indicate the total number of packets and flows in the file. Now, if you recall, when we're in Wireshark, we enable the flow ID column, which is enabled by default here. Now, if you look up at the top, you can see we have 117 flows, and trying to scroll through and find an individual flow can be quite problematic. If we want to identify a flow and label it, we can right-click on that flow, select related packets by flow, and it gives us the ability to label those selected packets. This is helpful, as you recall, because previously when we did that, we actually created a filter. Now we can actually see the interaction of other packets with that packet and scroll down and look for that red bar for when we start seeing the additional packets come through. That method, as I just described, is how you would go ahead and highlight leveraging the flow ID column. If we wanted to isolate those packets, we can select related by flow, and we can easily copy the selected packets to a new window, giving us an isolation of just those packets. Creates another tab with just the selection there. And now if we go ahead and go back to the main window, let's talk about the second method, where we're just focused on the flows themselves. If we go ahead and we click on flows, we'll actually get a list of all 117 flows, making it easier for us to identify. We were originally looking at flow ID number 3, so a simple double click of that flow takes us to a packet bounce diagram where we can adjust the timing to see when packets come in and out between the two hosts. We can also see the payload that actually took place. Now, if you recall in the packets view, there was a request timeout, but we can actually see that very easily within the packets view. And we can actually see the full payload where the server timed out while waiting for the browser's request. Additionally, if we wanted to look at other things like throughput, latency, TCP trace, and window size, we can actually leverage this as well. In summary, we can see where Omnipeek already goes ahead and creates the flow counts for us, has expert payload information for us quickly and readily available to see, along with visual data that makes it easy to analyze the packets without going into a specific packet view. Hopefully you found this comparison useful, and thank you.